All right, so welcome to this 2017 March Madness special. My name is Chris Ransom. This afternoon, I will be getting the brackets up. I'll have my other bracket with my winners up a little bit later tonight, but this will be the first March Madness bracket. This will be the bracket on Draft Utopia with the official results of the games. And my bracket will have other stuff on it too. Okay. Okay. This is a problem. I'll fix that. Well, I'll fix that with the code. Let me just go in and see. Okay, so yeah, we fixed that. The page was a little bit messed up, but we fixed that. So, and we did it before Selection Sunday teams and picks were flying in. And I'm going to do that with the other page with my actual March Madness picks on it, because that's a pretty big deal. If we screw up on all right, so basically that's from last year. That's pretty shitty code. This is from this year, but this is basically same as this year. If the logos are too big, 90 by 30, we'll modify that. But right now, basically all my picks as well as the March Madness bracket are going to be on both of these web pages. And I'm going to get the actual March Madness page. And I'm going to put this in a separate section. And I'm going to stop screen sharing, and then we're going to go back to screen sharing, and then we're going to go back to the March Madness bracket so people can see that. They don't have to see my code, but they can see the actual March Madness bracket. And we'll have March Madness recaps, all kinds of stuff up there in the next few days. I don't know if I'll be doing in-depth March Madness game recaps like I've done in previous years, but I will do my best to post final scores for the stuff, because we're going through a transition where we try to make all the web pages neat like this one. I'll work on coding some NBA and NHL pages during the tournament games. Yeah, But yeah, March Madness. We're going to have the March Madness brackets up in just a few minutes. And we'll see how the brackets end up turning out. The huge debate is whether or not Duke deserves that #1 seed. And you can hit the like and subscribe button. Subscribe to our channel. Are you down, baby, down, baby, down, baby, down, down, down? Are you Are you down? So March Madness.
Good evening to you, depending on where you are. I'm Greg Gumbel. Welcome to the 2017 NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show. Over the next 90 minutes, we will reveal the 68-team tournament field. 32 teams are set, 36 await an at-large invitation. Joining me here at the desk, the ever-anticipatory Puck Kellogg, along with Seth Davis, Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Gary Parrish of CBS Sports Network will weigh in from Atlanta later in the show. So many different storylines that we've gone over the last couple of weeks. What are you looking forward to the most?
Pop, it's showtime. That's what it's about right now. I'm anxious to see how the #1 and 2 seed lines shook out for this committee.
The top of the bracket and the bottom of the bracket, I felt like it was the clearest bubble we've seen in a long time. Interesting #1 seed debate. We'll be looking for those upsets on the 12 and 13 line. That's where the magic happens. Let's read some teams, Mr. Gumbel.
All right, guys, let's begin the reveal of the tournament brackets from the NCAA and its corporate champion, Coca-Cola. The overall #1 seed in the country is Villanova. The defending national champions playing in the East region, and why not? Last year's national champions, their third #1 seed in school history. They won their second Big East tournament title in the last 3 years, their fourth straight outright Big East regular season title.
Yeah, but which bracket are they playing in?
This team deserves to be right where they are. They capped it off with that Big East Conference Championship win last night.
So Villanova, the top seed in the East, and they will play in Buffalo on Thursday, and they will meet the winner of the first 4 matchup between Mount St. Mary's from the Northeast Conference and the Privateers of New Orleans. The Privateers, winners of the Southland.
So basically,
Tournament titles. Celebration. Do they know how celebrating New Orleans? Probably. No, they don't. So it'll be St. Mary's against New Orleans for the right to move on and play Villanova. Moving on down the East region, the #8 seed, the Badgers of Wisconsin. Wisconsin reaches its 19th straight NCAA tournament, lost the Big Ten tournament championship to Michigan. The #9 seed, the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Oh, Badgers ready to face the Hokies of Virginia Tech. #9 seed out of the ACC.
Interesting matchup there. Buzz Williams, the Virginia Tech coach, used to coach at Marquette. He did some battle with Wisconsin over the years there, a lot of familiarity.
And the Hokies are a high-octane team, especially with Seth Allen and LeDay coming off that bench.
Virginia Tech's Hokies, their first NCAA tournament since 2007. Moving on down the East region. First round games being played in Orlando, March 16th. Virginia's Cavaliers, the #5 seed, the second team on the ACC. Coach Tony Bennett.
Virginia.
11 ACC wins, a school record 5th straight year, and they will take on the
team UNC Wilmington scared Duke a year ago has just about everybody back. This is a team that I think will advance at UNC Wilmington Seahawks.
All right, and filling out the first portion of the East region, the Florida Gators out of the SEC. Coach Mike White, SEC Coach of the Year, 24-8 for the Gators, and they will meet number 13 East Tennessee State, the Buccaneers, with a 27-7 record on the year after sharing the Southeast and Southern Conference regular season title. They won the conference tournament.
And the 13 seeds, here's my first round upset pick of the selection show. I like East Tennessee State to win the game. They scored 80 a game. They got length, they got athleticism, and Florida is not as strong on the interior as that fourth seed would indicate because they don't have their starting center who's lost for the year of the injury.
All right, let's move on through the East region.
I'm still going to pick Florida, but I'm not going to pick them to win. There isn't really a team that I'm crazy about. And Duke should have been a number one. And Duke Villanova is going to be the Elite Eight.
So not only was Duke not a number one seed, they are not the top two seed. That's a bit of a surprise.
All right, meanwhile, they will face the number 15 seed out of the Sun Belt Conference, Troy. At 22-14, they beat Texas State to win the Sun Belt Tournament title. Moving on, number 7 in the East, the Gamecocks of South Carolina. And the number 2 team out of the Southeastern. They make their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2004. And they will meet the 10th seed Golden Eagles of Marquette. Marquette won 4 of its last 6 coming into the tournament. First and second round games in Tulsa, Oklahoma, March 17 and 19 on Friday and Sunday. The Baylor Bears, the number 3 seed in the East, Coach Scott Drew.
Yeah, in this bracket, I see 2 teams that can make a run, Villanova and Duke.
The Aggies of New Mexico State, the number 14 seed from the Western Athletic Conference. Aggies won their 5th WAC tournament title in the last 6
And I'm kind of tempted to pick New Mexico State over Baylor.
SMU Mustangs, number 6 in the East of the American Athletic. They won the American Athletic regular season.
Now, I'm probably going to pick SMU to go to the Sweet 16. I just don't trust Baylor. I'm not going to pick New Mexico State over them, but I don't trust Baylor.
And they will play the winner of the first 4 games from Dayton, Ohio. Number 11, Providence Friars out of the Big East. Rodney Bullock leading the Friars in scoring and rebounding. And USC's Trojans.
So that's the first 4 games. We know those are 2 of the last 4 in. My guess is that Rhode Island may have been in that range, but by winning the A-10, they were down in Providence. USC had 2 good home wins over SMU and UCLA. I guess that was just enough to get in. So if your home team is not in there, that's a problem.
Now, let's take a look from the top. Villanova, Wisconsin, Virginia, Florida, some big names in the top part of that bracket.
Some big names, and I think Villanova gets out of this bracket. I think this team has a chance, actually a really good chance, to repeat as champions. They got all the intangibles and the improvement of Jalen Brunson taking the reins of that point guard position, and Josh Hart was playing like a player of the year. I think they've got enough to get it done again.
So, yeah, I've talked about East Tennessee State. I like them in the first round over Florida. And UNC Wilmington is going to be a tough out. It's hard to pick against Virginia and the type of defense they play. You talk about Villanova, last year's national champs. 2 years ago, the national champs being the Duke Blue Devils. And you think if we got a Duke Villanova regional final in Madison Square Garden, that might raise the roof a little bit.
As we take a look at the lower half of that, those Duke Blue Devils, the number 2 seed, are hard to ignore. The way they play.
Yeah, I actually like Duke to come out of this region. And,
Yeah, I like Duke as well, but I expect a Duke Villanova Elite Eight. I think SMU will make the Sweet 16, and they will lose to Duke. And I'm going to have Virginia in my Sweet 16 with Villanova. I'm going to have SMU and Duke. I know it's a little bit of a crazy theory, might be a bit of a stretch, but that is my Sweet 16 at this point, and And I will get some other games up.
One of 3 luxury SUVs from the new Buick. Buick celebrates March Madness. Get a sweet 16% below MSRP on select 2017 Buick SUVs in stock. That's over $6,600 on this 2017 Envision. First they're sour, then they're sweet.
Nice. Now only get one lecture.
You have any idea what time it is? Sour Patch Kids. Sour, sweet, gone. Your insurance rates are only going to double.
I'm going to pick the USC Trojans to win in the first play-in game.
Hey, Frank, what you got there? It's Italian hero from Subway.
There's a lot of meat on that sandwich.
Well, yeah, it's got one of that one spicy peppercorn. Nice. And more salami, provolone. I'm not treating you regularly sweet. Yeah.
That thing is loaded.
That's a nice sandwich. You did good, Frankie.
Right. Come see what Frankie did.
Subway has the authentic taste everyone loves. Introducing the Italian hero. It's our better Italian flavor for a better Subway.
Everybody knows Enterprise picks you up. But can they solve all my transportation needs? Spoiler alert, they can. You can buy from Enterprise Car Sales. Sold. Car sharing, that's alarmingly sensible.
We even ran exotics.
That's good, because sometimes Mama wants to drive like a mother. Big trucks are kind of my jam. You guys make me feel so special. Like a princess? Exactly. Rent, buy, or share. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Kevin's got a brand new gig. Hey, what if you got me AX200 and he's on a roll? So your friend's secret life turns out to be.
So the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers, I'm getting their logo ready to put up on the site. I was hoping to get some picks up during the commercial break, but I won't have that time, and I'll have to wait until the next commercial to get the Mount St. Mary's logo up on the site. That's not surprising. The Kansas Jayhawks getting that second #1.
NC Central and UC Davis game. Very interesting because both of these teams get after you defensively. Can't wait to see that one myself. All right, let's move on down to the West Region bracket. So Jim Larinaga's Miami Hurricanes, the number 8 seed out of the ACC. They had NCAA tournament. They're 21-11 record on the year. Who do they face? On the Big Ten.
Michigan State. Now, that's going to be an awesome game because Michigan State's one of these teams that has underperformed all season. And here they are. Yeah, I like Nevada in that one too. I just don't trust Iowa State. I just don't trust Iowa State. So I'm probably going to take Nevada as a 12 seed. Vermont is intriguing. Now, I'm tempted to take Vermont. But I think Caleb Swanigan, too much Purdue.
They sure do. Tons of size, good depth. Donovan Mitchell has had a player of the year caliber year. The key for this team is all the big guys will be consistent scoring. If they are, this is a team that could get to the Final Four. All right, out of the Ohio Valley, Louisville will face the 15 seed Gamecocks of Jacksonville State. Coach Ray Harper in his first year takes the Gamecocks to their first ever NCAA tournament appearance. Jacksonville State looking forward to the Patino with Louisville Cardinals. Points in that game. First one tonight, he wins that one. Going up the ladder in the Midwest region, the Michigan Wolverines. Impressive down the stretch and in the Big Ten tournament. 4 games in 4 days to win the Big Ten tournament championship. Interesting seeing them as a 7th seed, respectable, maybe a hair low, but we saw the season champ in the Big Ten as a 4 seed. So that's an example of the committee valuing a regular season champion over a tournament champion. They seem pretty happy. As well, it should be 24-11 on the year and 10-8 in the Big Ten, but they are headed to Indianapolis. Who do they face? Oklahoma State's Cowboys, the 4th team out of the Big 12. They ended the season winning 9 of their last 13 games. Oklahoma State, 40-12 on the year. If you haven't seen Jawan Nesbitt, you're in for a treat. This little guy is dynamic, extremely quick, can score a multitude of ways. And I like the momentum of Michigan, how they've been playing. I pick the Wolverines to win that matchup.
Yep. Wolverines will probably win. They might even beat Louisville. There's a temptation to pick Michigan over Louisville. Oregon, I like Oregon. This team should be seeded higher than 3, in my opinion. And I think the Oregon Ducks are probably the biggest threat to Kansas because this is a team that got to the Sweet 16 last year. They lost to Oklahoma. Or wait, did they beat Duke, I think? Yeah, Oregon made the Elite 8 last year, so and I think they lost to Buddy Hield in Oklahoma in that Elite 8 game. And I think it's going to be Oregon and Kansas in this bracket. It's like there's only 8 teams, 2 teams that I think Kansas got dealt an incredibly easy bracket, and the only team I see as a threat to them is the Oregon Ducks. I mean, that sounds crazy, but
let's take a look back now at the Midwest region, and we'll begin at the very top of Kansas is the number 1 overall seed. Everybody pretty much had Kansas. Without question, this was something we had anchored in probably as far back as maybe 2 weeks ago or so. Villanova and Kansas clearly locked into those 1-2 spots. Louisville, very interesting 2 seed. I thought they might be able to figure out this is a dangerous team, a team that has the potential to play well to the end of the month. As we look at this region, you have to look up and down the ladder and figure out who is the opposing challenger. First of all, Kansas, Michigan State matchup in the second round. That would be a lovely trade. I actually like the line to go all the way to the Sweet 16. And then that Creighton game is interesting to me because Creighton lost their starting point guard. He's gone for the season, where Rhode Island got healthier, played better late. Like Rhode Island to win that. He has an injury issue, so like Rhode Island to get to the Sweet 16.
really?
And that Michigan Louisville second round game is very difficult for me. It's hard to imagine Rick Pitino not figuring out a way to defend all those 3-point shooters. I'll go with the Cards, but not with a ton of confidence.
I'm going with Oregon and Kansas. I know it sounds crazy, but I think Oregon's going to get back to the Elite 8 this year. I mean, you look at the bracket so far, Villanova, Duke, the first bracket are the 2 Final Four teams, and then you look at the second bracket, Kansas, Oregon are the 2 potential Final Four teams. That's what I see. And I think it's so obvious that those 2 teams in those brackets are hands and shoulders above the rest of the competition. NC Central, UC Davis. So basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting
It's the first ever all-wheel drive Infiniti QX30 crossover. At your local Infiniti retailer.
To achieve financial security, there are two halves to consider: protect and grow. Instead of focusing on insurance or investments alone, we bring them together into one whole picture. At Northwestern Mutual, we guide you along your path by combining personalized investments and world-class insurance. That's one of the reasons 96% of our clients stay with us year after year. At Northwestern Mutual, we help you live life differently.
Different flavors make the world go round. And now try the flavor hot honey mustard on the boneless roast meal. Served with pickle fries, Texas cooked in a 32-ounce tray. Friends, family, flavor, Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Yeah, Kansas made the Elite Eight last year, but they lost to Villanova. So I think we look at the brackets here.
Changer. Absolutely incredible. Tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS. Two of our four brackets have been filled. We now move to the bottom right. As we continue to review
Yeah, and I'm starting to fill out my bracket here. We'll scroll out to that bracket in a little bit, but
the number one seed they will play in the South, and this is a shock to some people. Well, it's a surprise to me because Duke people at Carolina twice. Carolina has 7 total losses. Duke's 8 losses. But again, North Carolina won the ACC regular season title. Duke won the Big Ten regular season. I'm looking forward to talking to the chairman of Ohio about how they value that achievement because it seems it's pretty high. It seems like it's very high. And we wondered about where those teams would fall in the season. We kind of had a good idea of what the 6 to 8 teams were from 1 and 2. And now we know Carolina's right there. Probably has been there for a bit. All right, let's take a look at who Carolina's going to play. Out of the Southwestern Atlantic, it's Texas Southern, the number 16 seed. They were the SWAC regular season title.
I'd love to see Texas Southern beat North Carolina, but it's not going to happen.
Razorbacks of Arkansas, coach Mike Anderson. Never had a losing season. His 15-year coaching career. Arkansas 25-9. They will meet the 9th seeded Pirates of Seton Hall, the 5th seed out of the Big East. Back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances since PJ Carlson way back in the early 90s. Now, first and second round games in Milwaukee on Thursday night. The Minnesota Golden Gophers are the number 5 seed. Coach Rick Pitino, the 2017 Big Ten Coach of the Year. The Gophers are in celebration mode.
Yeah, the Golden Gophers.
Great turnaround on the year. Great turnaround for Richard Pitino.
I'm going to go out on a limb, depending on what's in this bracket, and say that Rick Pitino's son gets further than he does. Wow, Middle Tennessee State.
Beat Michigan State last year in that shocking game. They returned a lot of those players and had a great transfer to Corey Williams. I spy another 5-12 upset. The Raiders are going to win this game.
Middle Tennessee 30-4 on the season. Moving on down to the number 4 seed, the Bulldogs of Butler, the number 16 out of the Big East, the 3rd straight NCAA tournament appearances. They handed Villanova 2 of their 3 regular season losses. They will meet the Eagles of Winthrop, Indianapolis on Friday. The Kentucky Wildcats, the #2 seed out of the SEC. They won the SEC regular season and tournament titles.
I mean, I'm looking at Kentucky as the team that's probably going to win this bracket, but it's tough. Kentucky, North Carolina, those teams separate themselves from the pack here. They're just glad to be there. Dayton Flyers.
Title this year, and they will meet the Shockers of Wichita State out of Missouri Valley.
Very surprised to see Wichita State as a 10 seed. I thought they could get maybe up to the 8 line. Shows to me that the committee evaluating their RPI breakdown as opposed to some of these other performance metrics where the Shockers have been in the top 10 and 20 all season.
All right, rounding out the South region, first round game in Sacramento Friday and Sunday. The #3 seed.
I think this is the toughest bracket, to be honest. We've got UCLA, we've got North Carolina, we've got Kentucky. This is the toughest bracket. And we got a Butler team that handed Villanova 2 of their 3 losses. This is the toughest bracket, in my opinion.
This is a good spot for the Bruins. I see them coming out of the South. They will beat the 14th seed Golden Flashes of
Kent State.
They won the MAC tournament title.
Thomas Coburn's going to have to pick a side from our podcast. He's a huge Kent State fan, but he's going to have to pick Kent State or UCLA. And I got to say, it's kind of an exciting matchup.
Before losing to SMU, they are at #6, and they will take on the winner of the first 4 games in Dayton between Kansas State's Wildcats, the 5th Big 12 team in the tournament, and Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
So we now know that Providence, USC, Kansas State, and Wake Forest were your last 4 at-large teams in. If you were a bubble team hoping to get into that first 4, you're not very happy right now. But that is done.
All right, to the review. South region looks like this. It starts with North Carolina, and we might pose a danger to them.
I think UCLA. Quite honestly, I think UCLA is a team because of its offensive ability. They've knocked off high-quality opponents, and they've got a transcendent point guard, I think, in Lonzo Ball.
I know, both of you, we all love Middleton.
I love Middleton. Yeah, I like him to beat Butler in the second round and go to the Sweet 16. It feels like it's been that kind of season in college basketball. A couple of great potential matchups there in the bottom half of that bracket. Because first of all, remember, Kentucky ended Wichita State's undefeated season a couple of years ago. And plus, 2 of the best regular season games this season was when UCLA won at Kentucky, and then also North Carolina won Kentucky. And between the 3 of those schools, 25 total NCAA championships. This is the glamour bracket.
On this side of the bracket, you got to say, watch UCLA, watch Kentucky.
Exactly. That's what I think. And then you take a look at this Dayton-Wichita State matchup. Dayton, small ball team. They play with the chip. I wouldn't concede this one to Wichita State. I like the Flyers in that one.
All right, guys, we remind you to play the official bracket game of NCAA March Madness. The Capital One NCAA March Madness Bracket Challenge is almost ready for your picks. To get your bracket started now at NCAA.com or in the March Madness Live app. We are 3/4 of the way through the bracket. A lot of teams still make their fate, including Arizona, Full Chance, Northwestern, still waiting to hear its name called. Princeton, representing the Ivy League, Fighting Sun Chance, Florida Gulf Coast. The selection show continues live here on CBS after this message of a word from the local station.
I just don't trust Seth Davis or his insight on these March Madness games. So Virginia and Florida. I'm going to put Virginia up against Florida in this bracket. Virginia Cavaliers, Florida Gators, SMU, Southern Methodist Mustangs. Yep.
You could spend days reading through financial documents to refinance your home, or you could push that button. Skip the paper.
Baylor.
This new day looks nothing like yesterday. Trails are covered. Paths aren't what they used to be. Roads nowhere to be found. And it's exactly what you're looking for.
Kansas, Kentucky, Duke.
The tribes are changing. Your new Survivor Game Changers Wednesday. Get to Nissan now and save on featuring Road. With available intelligent safety shield technologies that could stop for you. Take on the unexpected with 6 2017 IIHS top safety picks. It's clear why we're America's fastest growing auto brand. Get to Nissan now for 0% financing for up to 72 months. Or sign and drive the 2017 Nissan.
You know what? I'll go with South Carolina.
Get money that could change the lives of lucky Lamborghini drivers. Tomorrow at 6.
I was going to take Marquette, but their thing is not showing up on the site. So, and you look at what we have so far. The Providence USC winner is going to face SMU. Now, that's an upset I could see. I could see South Dakota State beating Gonzaga as a 16 seed. Do I have the stones to pick them? No. But I could see them doing it. I could see South Dakota State defeating Gonzaga. Vanderbilt, ooh. I think whoever wins that Northwestern Vanderbilt game could potentially knock off Gonzaga. I'm tempted to pick Princeton, but they're just glad to be there. Bucknell might be an upset. I just don't trust Bob Huggins. I think Arizona ends up winning this bracket. For some reason, I just don't trust. I don't trust Gonzaga. That's an interesting 7-10 game. St. Mary's versus VCU, Virginia Commonwealth. That is an interesting opening round game here. And Florida State, I actually like Florida State a lot. I don't like them enough to beat Arizona, but I actually like them enough to maybe finally get out of this funk they're in and make the Sweet 16. They've got Dwayne Bacon. They've got Terrence. I think them and Arizona, whoever wins that Florida State-Arizona team, that's going to be the team that beats Gonzaga. And Florida Gulf Coast, an awesome opening round matchup for Florida State. They don't have any NBA talent, Seth Davis. I go by who has the most NBA talent. That's my formula for picking the brackets. And Maryland is a Big Ten team now. They used to be an ACC team. They face an ACC team. I don't think Gonzaga is going to win this bracket. I'm going to actually surprise some people and pick somebody else to win this bracket. I don't know what. So basically, we'll go out of my March Madness bracket, and yeah, now it's time to see my pick.